Who will scouts be looking at in the Pac-12 for the 2020 NFL Draft? Well, I'm going to give to you my all Pac-12 scouts team for the 2020 NFL Draft. So if you're not eligible for the 2020 NFL Draft, sorry, I'll talk about you in a year. Just how it works. But before that, what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know so, go ahead, give me a like and become a bro and subscribe if you enjoy the content. It's much appreciated, much obliged. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's talk about the Pac-12, and we start at quarterback. At quarterback, Stanford's KJ Costello could garner some first-round hype, but it's Oregon's Justin Herbert who will be vying with Tua for the first quarterback off the board. He will be a top 5 pick. Utah's Zach Moss and Arizona State's Eno Benjamin. They are very similar prospects, but I think Benjamin's a bit better because he's a lot better at making tacklers miss. Pac-12 probably has my two favorite receiving prospects in Laviska Shenault Jr. and Isaiah Hodgins. They're both wonderful, and if you're a fan of the channel, you already know about those guys. But let's talk about a guy who kind of flirting with day 2. He's probably more of a day 3 prospect. It's USC's Michael Pittman Jr. He averaged a ridiculous 18.2 yards per catch. He's big-bodied at 6'4", 220. Now, there are worries about his separation, but he's very competitive at the catch point and is a guy you should know about. Now, I may have Stanford's Colby Parkinson ranked higher than Hunter Bryant from Washington, but that doesn't mean I think he's the better prospect. While Parkinson, he's a great red zone threat, I do think Hunter Bryant, if he stays healthy this year, will be a better prospect and will be higher on my list. Now, the Pac-12 boasts one of the best offensive lines in college football, and it's no surprise that you see 3 Ducks on this list. Walker Little is a tackle that he's likely to go in the first round. I don't think he's athletic enough to be a first-round tackle, but that's neither here or there. He's got a season to change my mind, and a lot more people are higher on him than I am. It is what it is. Now, I slid Oregon's Jake Hansen to guard because I think that's where he'll end up in the NFL, but I also wanted to shed some light on one of my favorite prospects, Washington's Nick Harris. I talked about him in my underrated prospects video, so go and check that. But this guy will be in that top 5 center mix. On to the defense, and Ryan Bowman out of Washington was good in limited snaps, but it'll be Utah's Bradley Nue who will get the most attention after a banger of a 2018. He registered 11 sacks. On the interior, Colorado's Mustafa Johnson was impressive, but Washington's Levi Onwuzurike will get to be a full-time starter this year, and he may get into that first-round mix because what we saw in a limited role last season was scary. I mean, scary. While other players like California's Evan Weaver and Colorado's Nate Landman they might get more recognition, it's going to be Oregon's Troy Dye, who I talked about in my underrated prospects video, who scouts are really going to like because he is a much better athlete than both those two. Stanford's Paulson Adebo is a well-rounded corner, and Jalen Johnson out of Utah, he might be the best zone corner in this draft, but he is a really boomer bust type of corner because he allowed a few big plays to get behind him. But let's not sleep on UCLA's Darnay Holmes. He has 4.3 speed, and a more consistent season will raise his stock in a scary but secretly great corner class. I know everyone's talking about the receivers, but man, these corners are good. Cal, they have an outstanding tandem of safeties in Ashton Davis and Jalen Hawkins. Hawkins, he allowed a passer rating of 2.7. I didn't know it could go that low. That's ridiculous. And on top of that, he had 6 picks. So this guy, man, maybe I should be talking more about this guy. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube stuff. As always, Always appreciated. And there's a comment section, use it. But don't be salty, don't be rude. Let's just talk. A nice discussion. I don't know, maybe go out, have a little lunch, tea. I'm more of a coffee guy myself. But till next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.